hard-fought battle tonight, and after 19 years, the Toronto Maple Leafs finally get it done in the playoffs, winning their first series in a long time. They won this one 2-1 off of a deflection defenseman's skate off of an errant shot from John Tavares, sending the Leafs through to the next round to either play the Florida Panthers or Boston Bruins. Before we do get into this episode, guys, if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit a like on this video if you want to help grow the channel as well. Get it pushed out. It does help out with the algorithm. But getting into this game, guys, man, oh man, the Leafs finally get it done. And of all people, they get the game winner, John Tavares, the captain. I wouldn't have wanted it to happen to a nicer guy, somebody who definitely deserves it. He's scored big goals for franchises in the past, as the Islanders getting their first playoff series win back in the day in a long time. He was the one to do it then. He does it for the Leafs now. Off of a game, honestly, I thought the Tampa Bay Lightning really dominated throughout. Looking at team stats, Lightning out shooting the Leafs 32-22. Both teams 0 for 2 on the power play. Hits 42-41. Blocks 29-19. 29 blocks for the Leafs. Very impressive. Both teams had 11 giveaways. Goaltending I thought was very stellar both ways in this game. Samsonov making some massive saves in this one, I think really giving the Leafs a chance in this game, as there were a couple times that they were hemmed into their zone on multiple occasions. I know in the Stamkos goal, it was the result of being hemmed in after a while, after a long shift. The Lightning were able to make them tie the game up. Matthews did get the first goal, and then Tavares in overtime gets it done for the Leafs. Looking more in depth at team stats, Marner +2, no points on the day. Matthew Nyes getting an assist on the day. I know the Leafs changed up their lineup. They went 11 forwards, 7 defensemen, getting Liljegren into the lineup, as well as Gustafsson, getting some more offensive-minded type defensemen in their lineup, sitting Hall, Lafferty, and Zach Aston Reese, with also the return of Michael Bunting to the lineup, which didn't really do too much. 2 hits. Achari 8 hits on the day. Let's see here. Matthews with the goal. Nice. Not a lot of guys with points. Tavares obviously getting the game winner. Morgan Riley, 1 assist on the day, +1. Giordano Gustafsson, -1. Giordano didn't look so great in this game, so it'll be interesting to see if he stays in their lineup moving forward in the next series against either the Panthers or Bruins, but I think he's definitely a little bit better than how Hall has been playing for the Maple Leafs. But overall, I thought O'Reilly had a pretty solid game. Again, not any real stats for him other than a couple hits, couple giveaways, and couple takeaways. He had a very solid game. I thought Nyes played very well. Youngkrok and Achari were all over the ice. Achari throwing the body around like crazy. Bunting had a pretty decent impact in this game, but I thought Liljegren and Gustafsson coming into this game, Gustafsson with only 7:38 played and Liljegren only with 10:31, but I thought the time that they did have on the ice was very, very good for them. Matthews and Nylander playing very good, and Marner trying to make as much as they can out of it, because the Lightning, I thought they had a very good defensive hold on this game, keeping them at bay as best they could. And then Samsonov between the pipes stopped 31 out of 32 for a .969 save percentage. He played out of his mind today. I think the momentum from the last game, even though they didn't win it, playing very well in certain periods, I thought moved over to this game, carried over to this game, and he was a brick wall tonight. Kept the Leafs in it for sure off of a few chances from the Lightning. And looking at the Lightning, I guess trying to call out some players who had great games. Isamont had a great game. He had a chance there to put him up, but unable to bury. Cirelli, I thought, looked pretty dangerous tonight. Colton looked very good. Stamkos obviously getting the goal for the Lightning, still was a -1 on the day. Braden Point was a little quiet for my liking, as well as Kucherov. Kucherov, I didn't think he did too much. There were a couple times when he had the puck on those power plays that he looked dangerous, but other than that, I thought he was a little quiet. But I'd say Paul, Killorn, Isamont, Hagel was in the action a ton. But on the back end, I thought Hedman played very solid. Sergachev as well. Ian Cole was actually sneaky good tonight. Radish, obviously, other than can't really blame him for the puck going off his skate, kind of wrong place at the wrong time, going in the back of the net. I thought other than that, he had a very solid game. And then Vasilevsky only saw 22 shots. You stopped 20 of them for a .909 save percentage. Definitely not his best playoffs by any stretch of the imagination. He'll definitely bounce back next year with a little bit more rest. I thought he had a very solid game tonight, but overall, I thought the Lightning were going to win this one, but the Leafs, and this was what gives me some hope for them to make a playoff run, is they win games like this. In overtime, that's 3 overtime wins in Tampa, but they're able to win those games that they shouldn't even be winning, and that's what gives me hope. And it should give you Leafs fans hope that they could potentially make a pretty deep run in the playoffs. So being able to stay in games even though they're being outplayed, not giving up those goals, that's exciting to see and should be interesting to see moving forward, especially against the Bruins or Panthers, who are pretty tough teams when it comes to the way their style of play, as well as they can score goals. So it will be interesting, but that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Be sure to drop comments down below on this game, the entire series as a whole, for a wrap-up, what you thought the X factors were, as well as looking forward to the Maple Leafs and what they're going to do in round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, which is still crazy to think and say. At the same time, if you guys did enjoy this video, drop a like. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. That's going to be it for this episode. I hope you guys have a good one, and as always, stay dusty.